3,000 metres beneath the sea ice that caused its demise sits the wreck of the Endurance. Perfectly preserved in the freezing Weddell Sea, bowls can be seen lying on the deck. The ship's wheel, unmanned for over 100 years. The name, the Endurance, gleaming alongside the few sea creatures who have made this wreck their new home. There can be no mistaking this ship for what it is, or what it was.
I was stunned, absolutely stunned, because the wreck is in incredible condition. There's virtually nothing living on it at all. You can still see the original paint on the vessel. You can see inside the hatchways, the stairs. You can see the ropes and the rigging. It's as if it sank only yesterday.
This was by no means an easy search. The team on board the Agulhas 2 had to face the dangerous Weddell ice pack in the freezing cold temperatures, all whilst covering over 100 square nautical miles in their search.
We were left some coordinates by the captain of the Endurance, a man called Frank Worsley, and that was the only thing we had to go on. So the question became just how good are those coordinates, and there were some problems there. He had to apply what he called an offset to them, which is kind of a guesstimate of where the wreck might be based on some sun observations. So it wasn't sort of like X marks the spot at all, but we kind of moved out east and west from his original marks, and then eventually just by really working in a very strict regimented manner, covering one box, then the next and the next, and hey, we got there, we found it.
The ship was found only 4 miles away from her final logged position on the 5th of March, 100 years to the day that Sir Ernest Shackleton was finally laid to rest in South Georgia. The remote island of South Georgia was crucial in the journey of Shackleton as he attempted to rescue his men after the Endurance sank.
It is an incredible achievement, a real momentous occasion in polar history, a really historic day, and as far as we're concerned, the story of Shackleton and the voyage of the James Caird is intricately linked with South Georgia, and so for us the discovery of the Endurance really rounds off that part of the story. It's just great. Everyone's very, very, very happy and really pleased for the Falklands Maritime Heritage Trust. All credit to them, it's their project, it's their achievement. We're just really happy to be part of that, albeit from the sidelines.
The sinking of the Endurance was the start to one of the most heroic stories of adventure and survival in history, and finding this wreck in such challenging conditions brings this story full circle.
When I found out that we'd discovered Endurance, I was speechless. It's still just sinking in. It is the most inaccessible wreck on planet Earth. It's the most famous, yet to be discovered wreck on planet Earth. People said we couldn't do it. People said the conditions down here were too tough. We'd never managed to deploy the equipment and get it down to the seabed. But we did. We found the wreck. We've got extraordinary images of it. I'm blown away. It's the highlight of my career.
It feels like, all my life has kind of been, converging on this moment, and it's happened. This was my big white whale, and guess what, we found it.
The wreck is protected by the Antarctic Treaty and nothing was touched or taken from it. Instead, the underwater vehicles took photos, videos and data to survey the ship non-intrusively. The team have left the ship, last seen 107 years ago as she fell, preserved in the freezing sea, a lasting monument to the legacy of Sir Ernest Shackleton.